Hello, my absolutely beautiful Scorpio friends, and welcome to your horoscope for September of 2023. Where Scorpio, this month we're going to see the sun move into the energy of Libra, which means you're going to start about mid-month coming into your 4 weeks before birthday time. Time to start slowing down, doing the review, looking over what happened for you in this last solar year and getting ready for what you want, resting, being rejuvenated, and also getting ready to transition out what does not need to come forward with you into your personal new year. So that's something I just want you to kind of keep in mind as we're traveling this month, that mid-month really has a shift of energy for you. Now, we've got several other big things happening. First of all, we've got Venus coming direct at the beginning of the month, which is phenomenal. Mercury coming direct as well. Jupiter will turn retrograde. And the big piece of information that I really want to bring your attention to is that we are just several weeks away from the eclipses that are going to be playing out in October. So one of the things to keep in mind this month, Scorpio, that I would just love to invite you to do is to take off your shoes, just stand and feel your body get grounded, feel into that inner watery world of yours, and check out and feel your own vibration. Like, get current with where it is now today, so that as you're traveling through September and these subtleties, these shifts and energies that come with the eclipse start to make themselves known, you can separate you from the energy that is coming in. Now, I will say, I think that the energy coming in with the eclipses is really about getting some things moving forward, not to mention the fact that we've got, planetary stations happening this month. They're moving around in ways that say, hey, okay, let's start to move things forward. I do think it is a good call and a good omen, but I just want you to bring a little bit of attention to your own space so that as things start churning and happening, you can really separate the wheat from the chaff. You know what I mean? All right, beautiful Scorpio friends, let's get in here and talk about what this month has to offer. Now, first and foremost, at the beginning of the month, we're going to see Venus coming out of retrograde in the energy of Leo, and this is happening on the 3rd. So first of all, this has been lighting up and working through your 10th house, which is great to think about the fact that you've been reviewing your career zone, your career area, your reputation, and what your name out in the streets, what your name in public means to you and how you represent that, what people seem to be calling you, and what, titles have you attracted. And that also to me means that it's also been changing you, not just at the level of career, but truly, what do people call you in public? Have you always been single and now someone's calling you married, or you haven't had any children and now you're becoming a parent? Did you have something going on with one of your children and there was more of an adversarial relationship, and now you're starting to take on a different title and a different relationship with them? These are things that I also see happening in that 10th house. Now, the fact that it's been Venus who's been retrograde here, certainly things having to do with their relationship and the finances in your career area or in your public area have been under a lot of change. One of the things I think has been there is, what is it that you do and are willing to still do for work or to maintain a title, and what are you not? That's been a big review. But the other thing is that anything you have been working on or that you did work on during the retrograde, first of all, dealing with 2015, I think you're starting to get a lot more clarity on changes that can start to be made. And anything that you started at the beginning of this Venus retrograde energy, which really started on June 19th, remember when Venus went into its pre-retrograde shadow time, those things now have the energy of get ready when we get to the end of the month / beyond October 7th to really feel them kick into gear and take this nice initiative to create a support financially for you or to create a reputation solidly for you that you can really stand on. So that's something to be really looking at, that powerful energy working in that area. Now on the 4th, we're going to see Jupiter turning retrograde in the energy of Taurus. So this is right across the street. This has been working in the 7th house zone for you. So relationships, conscious, chosen, one-on-one relationships have really had an expansion. And that doesn't mean that a lot of people came into your life. That's not always what it looks like, okay, Scorpio? Sometimes it means one very specific relationship really was like under a magnifying glass for you, or it was really pronounced in your life for a time and you were working on those relationship patterns. Now, Jupiter has been in this pattern. It's been in its slow down energy since June 11th. So go back to June 11th around your relationships and at 5 degrees of Taurus, what's been happening for you there. And we're going to see this travel all the way from 15 degrees of Taurus back to 5 degrees of Taurus. And we'll see Jupiter end this retrograde in December, and the full retrograde cycle will be done in March of 2023. Now, here's something that I want to just bring to your attention. Jupiter's retrograde in Taurus. The ruling planet of Taurus, Venus, has recently just come out of retrograde, but the full retrograde cycle is not done until October 7th. So I really want to tell you, between, the 4th, the week of the 4th, if a relationship or if a financial decision comes around and it's like, oh my gosh, this is it, this is the everything, right? I would really like you to do some extra double checking on any deals or investments that you make around that time, because it may not be exactly what you think it is. The wobbly energy of Venus is great for taking initiative and getting something forward as Venus starts to travel this path, but you just might not be seeing everything clearly. And Jupiter's turn, its retrograde in Taurus, may also have you going, well, now wait a minute, is this really in alignment with my new plan and my mission? I need to rethink this. I need to re-edit. I need to get advice about this. Is this excessive? Is this extravagant? What is it? Something about it may not be exactly the right thing for you. So I just want you to get an extra set of eyes on that, okay? All right, when we get to the 14th, we're going to have a new moon happening at 21 degrees of Virgo. Now, this is going to light up your 11th house space. So lots of things happening around the friends, the social groups, the where you are associated with people, social networking, anything happening in your social networking, anybody who makes content. This is a great time for you to be thinking about that. And you're planting your seeds of intention here. Okay, what would you like to, what is your goal? What is your vision around having a network, having a tribe, the content that you want to make, things with your friends, being a part of something where it's like together we're better. This actually makes us stronger. We go further, faster by joining together. What's your vision for having that in your life, and how are you going to go about getting that? Now, the beautiful thing about Virgo is that, first of all, it's an earth energy, so you're pretty compatible in how you can get things done. You can mesh well. But Virgo is going to bring a nice level of analytical thinking, and it is also going to bring discernment to the table. It's going to say, nope, here's the priority. Here's where we need to get a routine. Here's where this can be more healthy. Here's how we handle the details of things. The one thing that I do want to also bring to your attention is, first of all, shoot for the stars, right? This particular moon is in a really nice conversation with Uranus over in Taurus, so this is great. So in a very physical way, earth energy, right? This is a really nice conversation with something material in front of you, but it does oppose Neptune. So you really have to ask if the old ideas and ideals that you had of how you were going to do things, how you wanted to develop something, you're still in alignment with them. Are you still in alignment with them? And that could be a part of even an opportunity that comes to you after the 4th, and at this new moon, you're like rethinking it. You're like, okay, wait, does this really help me be excellent? Does this really help my content, my friendship groups, my alignments be as excellent as they can be? Because the other thing I want you to keep in mind in the 11th house that I think Mercury turning direct on the 15th will really help you with is to remember, when you know people or you're in the right alignments, this can be a real helper to your career. This can be a real helper to your mission, right? When you know people, when we go places, we meet faces, and those faces introduce us to other faces and other opportunities. So this is a great time for you to have some networking in your vibration as well. And with Mercury coming out of retrograde there on the 15th, now you can have a bit more clarity of mind, of delivery of the information you're trying to share. You can feel like you have a little bit more discernment as well, and it's streamlined a bit. Now, I do want you to keep in mind that Mercury does not finish its post-retrograde shadow energy until September 30th. So you can move, you can go out, but I think you'll see a lot more culmination at the end of the month. But don't hesitate to get things started, and certainly pass your information, share ideas. This is the time to do it. On the 23rd, the sun's going to move into the energy of Libra, lighting up your 12th house space. So this is the time of year where I will ask you to look back on what your life and your world was like last year. And you know, for your birthday time, what has the year been like? Do the review, transition out what doesn't belong there anymore, bring things to culmination, rest, Scorpio, rest. This is your 12th house. Get into that spiritual practice. See where in the place where you live and exist in between the worlds, to include your sleeping energy, right? Your sleep cycle, where you need to bring a bit more harmony. That's really the blessing and the beauty of this Libra energy. I also think too that now, because we've got Libra season on us and Libra's ruling planet is out of retrograde, and you've done so much work around partnerships, pay into them, right? So in some relationships, you may actually be paying into them. You may be spending a little bit more money, but in other things like, you know, romance, play, enjoy, go out and increase the wellness and the peace and the love vibration that's there. If you have time during Libra season to take a little mini vacation and go off by yourself and just rest or rejuvenate, or go off with people that you enjoy being with or a partner, this is a wonderful time for that this season, okay? All right, as we get to the 29th and we're going to close out this month, we've got a full moon happening at 6 degrees of Aries. Now, this is going to light up your 6th house space. So daily routines, health, wellness. If you own a company, it's about self-employment. If you own a company or something like that, or you work freelance, it could be your employees or contracts that you're working on, right? So lots of things for me when I look at this Aries energy, and I consider the fact that the nodes are also moving here, right? So pulling us towards some kind of destiny. And the full moon is asking you, Scorpio, to end something, acknowledge something, or bring an adjustment to something that's going on, okay? So this is letting me know that, first of all, if anything is going on in your health, your actual health and wellness, to include your mental health and wellness, what's going on in your head, with your head. You know, some of our viewers have had TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, things like that. If anything feels like it's poking and peeking up at this time, I want you to be an Aries. I want you to take the initiative, be assertive, go assert yourself and say, I need help. Something is going on. Get your eyes checked. This is a phenomenal time for that. Do your hearing test, do all of the things in the face and the head that rule the Aries energy, because you're going to be more sensitive at this particular full moon to everything going on in that 6th house. It's like you can feel the vibes of what are going on, but you also have that Aries energy that says, I have the right to have good health care. I have the right to put a strong daily routine in my life that allows me to be healthy. I have the right to seek information that I need to do a good job, right? You have this very Aries energy to make some moves. Now, the 6th house also can deal with, just in general, coworkers. So I just want to put this out there in case any of you need it, okay? But what can happen sometimes on the coworker axis when we're dealing with Aries energy is, it's like, I've been trying to be really nice to this coworker for a long time, or we've kind of been dancing on the fence a little bit. And the full moon can bring the emotionalism to the surface. And it's like this revelation of I'm over it. And you can get very, very energized into taking action. And if the action is going to be taken, you know, you are a responsible human being. You get to choose how you govern yourself. But I would ask you to consider that the Aries and Libra axis is the axis of me and we. And so somewhere in there can't be too much me. There can't be too much we. We need to find the place in the middle so that we have an interdependence. So sometimes what this needs to look like is simply having a conversation, asking questions about what's happening, what's going on, how did we get here, but ultimately taking the lead, taking the initiative to be in the leadership position. Remember, Mercury is direct in Virgo here, so you can trust your intuition, you can trust your words. If somebody says, hey, can I have a conversation with you? This may be a time for the listening and speaking, and the dialogue can go back and forth. So whatever it comes to you in your consciousness around this time, please let me know in the comment section how this particular moon plays out, because I'm telling you, your intuition and your sensitivity to the vibrations of the 6th house this month, I think, are really superb, which means it can be annoying and challenging, but it also means you can do a lot of really good work here. All right, my beautiful Scorpio friends, have a gorgeous month. Please let me know how everything's manifesting for you in the comment section down below. And definitely tell me, even as we're coming into September, how can you identify that this year is very different than maybe the year you had before? And what do you want for yourself very specifically moving into your next year? All right, my friends, I love you. Have a good month.